Because we work once, get paid forever for as long as we own that property. No one ever teaches us in school about how to invest in property or even how to make money. Because in school, we're taught how to get a job. This is why it's so important to continually seek to grow your knowledge and your expertise. Because Inspector for HMRC, you'd think he'd understand about taxes, didn't know about one of the reliefs I was explaining. Is there a better way of doing what I'm currently doing? Can I get the results I want in a quicker way, in a better way, in a cheaper way than what I'm currently doing? Hello and welcome to this episode of the Property Magic Podcast, which is all about you don't know what you don't know. It's one of my favorite sayings. You know, all the truly successful people I know, they completely believe this mantra. Because if you get to the point where you think you know everything, that can be very dangerous. You can make some very expensive mistakes. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can apply this mantra in your life, in your business, and in property. So let me explain what I mean by this. Well, you don't know what you don't know. You see, the decisions we make are based on the knowledge, the past experience, and our beliefs that we hold at that time. In my 30 years of investing in property, I have a few properties which I purchased, which at the time seemed like an amazing deal. There were maybe no money down deals, even deals where I actually got paid to buy the property. Yes, we could do that back in the mid-2000s. And knowing what I know now with the power of hindsight, I look back and actually if I was offered those opportunities again, I wouldn't take them. Let me give you an example. So I bought a property in Wakefield. It was a motivator. It was a no money down deal. In fact, I think I was able to buy the property and actually got paid £5,000 to do it. The seller stayed there for a period of time, but in these cases, often these people eventually move on. And the property needed a bit of a refurb. And because I was blinded by the fact that it was a no money down deal, in fact I was going to get paid money, I probably didn't do all the due diligence I should have done on the area. And I didn't realise actually it wasn't a great area to rent out. For many years I struggled with poor or unreliable letting agents who were putting bad tenants into the properties. And I got to the point I thought I'd eventually sell the property, and someone who was doing the renovation for me shared that actually the council had a scheme where they were taking properties on, putting people into those properties, giving a guaranteed rent, no letting agents, taking care of all the maintenance. That seemed like a great solution. But at the time, when I bought it, it seemed like a great deal. I didn't know what I didn't know. At the time I was thinking about selling, I didn't know about the council. So we make decisions based on the information and knowledge we have at the time. This is why it's so important to continually seek to grow your knowledge and your expertise. Because no one ever teaches us in school about how to invest in property or even how to make money. Because in school, we're taught how to get a job. And nothing wrong with a job, but frankly, a job is not going to make you financially independent. And well, it might do while you're working, but when you stop work, your income's going to drop. And most people don't have enough in their pension. This is why we invest in property. We invest in property, and yes, we need to put time and effort in up front, but that time and effort is very well rewarded. Because we work once, get paid forever for as long as we own that property. So if we're going to do anything new, whether it's start a new business or invest in property, we need to learn how to do that. So you need to keep learning, keep educating. Now, a couple of caveats here. A mistake I see many people make is they think they need to know everything. They keep learning, go from course to course to course and never actually implement anything. And that's crazy. You actually learn by doing. So there's a certain amount of theoretical education you can do, then you learn by implementing and doing, then you come back, learn some more, and you're going to develop your knowledge and skill over time. So how can you do that? Well, obviously listening to this podcast or watching the YouTube version of this is a pretty good start. Also, watching the many other videos on my YouTube channel, reading books. But also, there comes a point where you want to put a stake in the ground and speed up the learning process, accelerate the learning process, because as good as these videos are, I hope you agree with that, you can't get any questions answered. When you go to live training, you can actually get questions answered. And when you do paid training, all of this free content is put together in a concise plan, step by step, to help you understand it and implement it quickly. Now, one of the other things you could do, and a mistake I see people make, is they think they need to know everything before they can do anything. And that's never going to happen. You're never going to know everything about property investing. I don't know everything about property investing, and I've been doing this for 30 years and teaching people like you for the last 22 years. And I've been pretty successful. More importantly, I've got thousands and thousands of clients who have completely replaced their income, changed their lives because they've invested in property. But still, nobody is going to know everything. And by the way, if someone tells you know everything, they're either trying to kid themselves or they're trying to kid you. So you can never know everything. And I know quite a lot about property, but I'm still learning all the time because I'm doing and I'm learning from my students. I'm speaking to other people, I'm networking, I'm learning from those people, and I'm gaining that knowledge and experience. Now, one of the other things you can do is, rather than learning everything about everything, you can work with specialists. So for example, I understand a little bit about planning, but I don't want to spend a load of time and effort learning about planning when I can go and use a really good planning consultant who might have been doing it for 20 or 30 years. And in an instant, they can tell me what I want to do is going to work or not. And they're going to save me a whole load of time and effort. And I might pay that person. And that's why many investors don't like paying experts, because they think they can do it themselves. You've got to value your own time. And I'm not just paying that expert for the hour or so they're giving me, I'm paying them for their decades of experience they've amassed in that particular area. So using experts and consultants can massively speed up your journey. However, you need to be careful, because those experts and consultants, they also have the same problem as you. They don't know what they don't know. And particularly when you deal with someone who is a specialist, they assume that they do know everything about their particular field. So I've spoken to accountants who are really good at understanding accountancy, but maybe some of the intricacies of property investing and property invested tax they're not aware of. I think I've mentioned this podcast before. An ex-partner of mine, she had a property she'd lived in for a number of years. Then she moved out to Dubai and she was renting the property out. She came back, and that's when we met and moved in together. And she didn't want to move back to London. She decided to sell this property. And there was going to be some tax to pay on it. But actually, using various allowances, because she'd lived there as her own home, etc., I think the tax was going to be very, very minimal. Her tax accountant, who, by the way, was a former inspector for HMRC, you'd think he'd understand about taxes, didn't know about one of the reliefs I was explaining. And he said, oh no, that doesn't work. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure. And I went and checked the books I'd learnt this from, and I went back to my partner and said, look, you need to push back with the accountant. And he said, no, I've spoken to some friends, it's not right. And finally, he came back and said, oh, actually, yeah, you are right. It's not on the HMRC website, but I've checked, I found it, and you're right. It saved her £4,000 in tax. If she'd just listened to the accountant, that'd be £4,000 she would have paid, she didn't have to pay. So be careful of experts or specialists who also don't know what they don't know. Another example of that is builders. You might say, well, I've got my builder to do my HMO conversion for me. You ask the builder, do you know about HMOs? Oh, yeah, I've done HMOs, great. But are they up to speed with all the latest regulations? They don't know what they don't know. So don't make assumptions they're always going to know. And a final example is solicitors. Solicitors might say, yeah, they've been a solicitor 20, 30 years, conveyancing solicitor. But guess what? Maybe they've never done a purchase lease option, which is very special. Maybe they've never done vendor finance. So you have to use not just a specialist, but a specialist who has the relevant experience and background to be able to do what you want to do in your property investing. So we can use other people, we can educate ourselves, and just have that openness that I don't know what I don't know. Is there a better way of doing what I'm currently doing? Can I get the results I want in a quicker way, in a better way, in a cheaper way than what I'm currently doing? And if you have that open mind to learning, no one can stop you. If you have a closed mind, well, you're going to limit your progress and you might make some expensive mistakes. And this is one of the benefits of having someone like a coach in your property journey to be a sounding board, because sometimes we have a certain amount of knowledge and a more experienced person than you will be able to look at things in an independent, objective way and spot the blind spots, the things you can't see, the things you might have missed. And that might help you to avoid buying the bad deals that might work out eventually but might unnecessarily tie up money for longer than needs to be tied up. Or if there's a deal and actually you think it's so good, you're almost talking yourself out of it, they can give you the confidence to move forward. So getting a coach might be a really smart thing to do as well. In fact, Early in January, I am running a 2-hour live online session to help you understand how coaching could help you and how to choose the correct coach for you. I'm going to put a link in the show notes of this podcast, and I'm going to put a link just below this video. So come and check that out. If you want to join me for free for 2 hours in January to find out how a coach can help you, I'd very much like to help you on your property journey and help you find the right coach for you. So to summarize this episode of the Property Magic podcast, remember, you don't know what you don't know. And other people you're working with also don't know what they don't know. So have an open mind. Ask questions. Make sure people have got the right experience. Be open to learn from other people what they're doing so you can become better, faster, and more effective at everything you do in your life. Until the next episode, I encourage you, as ever, to invest with knowledge, invest with skill.